For over a decade now, Houston artist Betirri has been injecting vibrant life into spaces across the city and the world with his colorful and unique art and murals.
And I've reached to almost 30 murals in Houston.
In 2016, he saw an opportunity for his passions in arts and sports to convene in his East Downtown neighborhood while contributing to the area's rapidly evolving cityscape. He is the visionary behind Goal Park, the reimagining of the first 7 blocks of the Columbia Tap Trail into a multifaceted recreation space for residents and visitors alike, aiming to have the project complete by Houston's 2026 World Cup Games.
Innovation, culture, athletics, and nature.
Join me as I dive into Betirri's captivating journey towards Goal Park, exploring the strides already made and the work still ahead to make this vision a reality. I sat down with Betirri in his studio just a few blocks from the park site. I wanted to know what inspired the idea and what work is being done right now to further the project. Here's what he had to say.
I am Betirri, and I am the founder of Goal Park. I am from Puebla in Mexico, and I came to Houston in 1997, so I have been here for about 26 years. I grew up in the Southwest area, went to Robert Lee High School, Houston Community College for 2 years, and then I went to University of Houston. I have a bachelor's in arts in architecture and one in painting. I've been living here in the East End for now the last 9 years. Since I was a child, I always had this passion of becoming a professional football player, soccer player. I used to train and play. I have asthma, so that didn't really let me keep playing or training. I kept playing recreationally. I kept watching the games, collecting jerseys. It was in me since I was growing up. Since I feel that I had this frustration of not being able to play anymore, I was painting and drawing players and logos. It became a profession in 2012 when I created this concept where I depict no bodies and faces, and I would just focus on the jersey and the colors. That really became a concept that took off. I was posting my work online, and that's pretty much how people started finding my work. I had my first commission to do a mural in Mexico City. That was my first ever mural, and then every year I started to get more and more. Here in my studio, I created one about mental health. For every other commission or client, I try to create a unique piece that really expresses their brand or their concept. So actually, the idea of Goal Park, it came because of different factors or reasons. I was already living in the East End area. There was one client that they wanted me to do a painting on one of the buildings adjacent to the trail. When I saw the area, I kind of envisioned that we needed that to be a park. It was a time where East Downtown was growing and changing. So I remember seeing a lot of CrossFit, a lot of gyms around the area. So I was thinking, what if we implement all these activities in this area? So essentially it will be the enhancing of the first 7 blocks of the Columbia Tap Trail. This will be through placemaking and 4 pillars that we have identified: innovation, culture, athletics, and nature. So we really want to implement all these activities all throughout the trail to create this outdoor or public lifestyle for residents and visitors that come to East Downtown. We found out that the Columbia Tap Trail, it is owned by Houston Public Works. So we have been in touch with them, and they own the 7 blocks, and of course the crossings are also part of the city. When I came up with this idea was late 2016, and then in 2019 we filed for nonprofit status. In 2020, during the pandemic, we got approved to be a nonprofit. In 2021, we created a whole executive board. We have now 7 board members. In 2022, we hired Bowman Architects to develop more of a vision plan for the project. In 2023, we finished the vision plan. The board grew to the 7 board members that we have now, an advisory board, and now we have also volunteers. Every year it has been growing. It is becoming more of a concrete project and with more of a concrete decisions that we're making. When I just started the idea of Goal Park, I was reaching out to different entities and organizations that I thought they could be part of or that they could support. So the first one that we reached out was EaDo Management District. They were very supportive since the beginning. 2015, they also came on board. Then I visited the office of, back then it was Councilman Robert Gallegos. They also supported the project. A few other organizations like Houston Dynamo, Houston First, We finished the vision plan. The idea will be to, for the first quarter of this year, to have the survey of the property of the 7 blocks, have that done, and keep working on the fundraising process to raise enough funds to cover the design and then construction. We are aiming to have this built by early 2026 for the World Cup that Houston will be hosting 5 games. So we're hoping that this will be completed by then, so that also we have this public space for the fans, have a FIFA Fan Fest in the area. The most fulfilling part has been seeing all these people, individuals, organizations really getting very passionate and involved on these projects. We have met other people working on different initiatives like this throughout the whole city. Since the East End is growing a lot and changing, there are a lot of residents and people coming, very passionate about just having this area develop well for pedestrians, cyclists. We really want this area to be very walkable, a lot of people using their bikes. I think that's the most fulfilling part, that everyone is coming together. So the obstacles that I've faced mainly has been, I will say, manpower. We need a lot of help making this project a reality. It is getting there, but there are so many things and pieces that we need help with. We do this on a volunteer basis, so we assign time every week to meet. Another obstacle will be making that first next step for funding, which is, I think, sometimes it's normal because it's a pretty new organization that we're developing. But we have done a lot of work and we have committed ourselves to make this happen, but it will happen soon. Part of the program will be to preserve the bike trail. That's one of the things that we have seen from the community. We have done a few workshops all throughout from 2020 all the way to 2023. And we've seen that community members, they want to preserve this bike trail. Of course, we will be also adding this pedestrian lane. We will be implementing different activities, like I said before. So we have different sports pitches. We have native nature all along the trail. This project, it is a partnership between public and private. We're reaching out to different companies, many entities that really want to get involved and also be part of a project that I think is going to be a key to connect East Downtown and also downtown in the future.
Betirri and the Gold Park Board continue their pursuit of making the park a reality. Please check out the links in the description to learn more about Gold Park and to contribute towards this exciting project. Thanks for joining me for my interview with Betirri. Subscribe to the channel and come with me on the next adventure.